Happy Monday, y'all, and welcome to another episode 10 of Keeping It G with G, the podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you guys follow the personal Instagram page for the podcast. And don't forget to submit any questions or advice that you may have or topics that you want me to discuss on the podcast. You can DM it to me or email it to me. I'll leave the email in the show notes. So for this episode, I want to talk to you guys about stepping into your purpose. This past week, it was something that was weighing heavy on me just because I feel like if you're my age, I'm 29, it's easy to get down on yourself or think that you're behind on life or that you haven't quite figured your purpose out. And a lot of times, whether you want to believe it or not, social media has a lot to do with those type of thoughts. Social media will have you thinking people just really have all their shit together or all their ducks in a row, and they don't. We're all still figuring this life shit out, and that's okay. It's fine. But what has helped me to accept life as is to remember that my journey has already been written by God. I'm not to compare or look on someone else's paper, because what works for them may not work for me. And that's what keeps me sane and staying on the path, or keeping my head straight and focused on my own journey. So whether you have big aspirations, you want to get a house, get married, have children, or travel, or just simply figure your life out, you're not alone. A lot of people want these things, but if I haven't learned anything else, is to pray, be patient, and do the work internally and externally with just getting help and doing your homework with the things that you have on your heart that you want to accomplish. Read books and articles so that when these things do happen to fall into your lap, you'll be well prepared for them. If you don't try, you won't. If you're not failing, you're not trying. So you have to step out on faith, and you can't let fear paralyze you from not following your goals. Don't get down on yourself. You're right where you're supposed to be right now. And if you feel like you've already did a lot of work and you still feel lost, ask God or whatever higher power that you serve to help you figure it out. Ask them to reveal it to you. Give over the control and do what you can with what you have. I always tell myself this because I'm a natural worrier, and I always like to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row. But I have to always remind myself that my plan, God laughs at my plans. God laughs at our plans because we're not in control. He's in control. So I have to constantly tell myself, Gigi, you cannot worry and have faith at the same time. It's got to be one or the other, because if you worry, then do you really have faith? Faith is the substance of things that are unseen, that haven't happened yet. So just keep in mind that you're right where you're supposed to be. And if you're looking to the left or the right of what other people have going on, how the hell are you going to focus on your own shit? You just can't. It's impossible. Comparison is confident suicide. Just keep your head straight and remember your journey is specially made for you. And I wanted to keep this episode short and sweet. Because it's self-explanatory with the things that I just spoke about. And I want to end it with a quote, of course. Note that this journey is uniquely yours, no one else's. So the path has to be your own. You cannot initiate somebody else's journey and still be true to yourself. Are you prepared to honor your uniqueness in this way? And that quote is by Jon Kabat-Zinn. And just to elaborate on that quote, it's you staying focused on your journey, your path, and understanding that you can't compare to what this person or that person has going on, because nobody's life is perfect. I say this all the time on this podcast, that people, especially on social media, they're going to show you the highlight reel. They're going to show you all the good moments, but you guys don't know what goes on behind closed doors or how those people really do feel about themselves, because you just really never know. So it's imperative that you focus on your own shit and not be so caught up in what everybody else has going on, because that'll take you away from your purpose, thinking that this person has this, that, and the other, or they're this and they're that, when you have your own journey and you have to focus on your own shit. You can't be worried about what everybody else has going on, especially if you're trying to get to where you're going. So, before I close the episode out, I wanted to leave you guys with a word from one of my biggest supporters. So bear with me. I'm going to play it real quick before we close the episode out. And again, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and follow the Instagram page and submit any questions or advice that you have. So here's the special message from one of my biggest supporters. And that's a word from Genesis. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys on next Monday for Lucky Number episode 11. Y'all have a blessed week, and I will talk to you guys next week.